I've obviously been sharing this with our community at SB, as well as at Scandinavian Capital Markets, but I put this up on Twitter and said, be sure to watch this over Thanksgiving. So sure enough, we nailed it. The high, if I zoom in to this, you can see we had a big weekly, I wouldn't necessarily call it a huge reversal. It was more kind of like a doji candle, right? But we did reverse from that level, nailed that high right up there at like 96, 94. And here we are this week trying to follow through on the downside from that little reversal candle. So if I zoom in, let's go to 4-hour chart. So here's a 4-hour chart. And again, we've got this channel too back to the May low, right? And you can see we kind of overthrew that channel and then came back into it. And pretty simple here. I mean, sure, you could have a huge top up here. Hold on for 1 second. You have a huge top, but deal kind of in the present right now. You know, I'm looking lower generally, right? I mean, this right here is essentially like in like 30 minutes. This is yesterday, Powell, when he, what do you say, disposed of the word transitory or something? I don't know. But yeah, we had that huge spike in the dollar, and then we pretty much retraced it. So looking lower, right? Generally speaking, kind of like 94.50 down here, lower channel line, former resistance. You've got 2 legs down from the top at 95.20, and that's also the high here from, I guess, what was that, like November 11th, 12th, something like that. And that could be kind of a bounce level. But generally speaking, we are looking lower in the dollar. And that actually, I brought up this Powell thing yesterday. It actually brings me to something else I wanted to share. I don't think, maybe it's over here. Yeah, it is. Okay, so this is DBC. This is as you can see, the Invesco Commodity Index Tracking Fund. Now, commodity ETFs are terrible. They suffer from all kinds of, like, you know, the roll, so you're in the expense fee and everything else. So they're not really great vehicles to trade, but just for purposes of making this chart, I thought I'd bring it up. So again, how many times have we heard over the last, you know, 2 years almost, I mean, not quite 2 years, but say 1.5 years, right? That inflation is transitory, right? They finally capitulated. They gave up yesterday. Powell said, okay, inflation is not transitory, basically. And it's kind of funny, right? So he says it just as this is rolling over. And again, this is commodities. So I don't know. My whole point of this isn't like a trade idea or anything. My whole point of this whole thing is, if this evidence here, right? They've been saying inflation is transitory, and it's not transitory. They finally gave up, right? They kind of like bought top tick, if you will, almost. Would be kind of an analogy to make with the trade. Is why would you trade on what Powell says, right? Basically, he was like shorting this the whole way, and now he finally gave in and bought, is kind of the way to think about it. Again, not a trade idea here. I'm just saying, like, there's no need to listen to what Jerome Powell or any of these clowns at the Fed say for your idea generation for your trades. That's all.